Oh my God. No one can tell you nothing. What's up, my cherry bombs? On today's video, I'm gonna be sharing some amazing, addictive, sexy tonka bean fragrances. Now, some of these fragrances are not tonka bean heavy, but they feature the note of tonka bean, and I just love it. If that sounds like something that you're definitely interested in, let's get right into this video. Now, when we talk about tonka bean in a fragrance, tonka bean to me gives me powdery, nutty, and almost green vibes in a fragrance. And the first one is one that a lot of people don't like, but it is one that I enjoy. And the tonka bean in this fragrance is just to die for. Honestly, I think that's what I like about this fragrance the most, and it is Tom Ford Lavender Extreme. Now, when you first smell Lavender Extreme, you get a burst of lavender. Now, the lavender in this fragrance is very prominent, but what makes this fragrance stand out the most is the fact that it has tonka bean in it, and the tonka bean gives it like that powdery, nutty feel. So once the fragrance starts to dry down, you instantly start to get the powdery notes and you get the nutty notes. For a man and a woman, you can never go wrong with this fragrance. It's one of those fragrances that's easy reach and it's perfect for the fall weather. Like, I've been waiting for the fall because it's a little bit aggressive, and y'all know Tom Ford is aggressive with their fragrances, period. But this one is like borderline in your face. Like, I need you to smell me. So I feel like this would work perfectly in the cool weather. It has a beautiful tonka in it and I love it. Now, this next fragrance is one that I love a lot, and I don't know why I be trying to sell it because I don't reach for it, but it's one that has the beautiful note of tonka bean. And the tonka bean in this fragrance is going a little bit more sweeter. And I don't know what it is about this fragrance, but it just keeps on grabbing my attention, and it is Scarlet Poppy. Now, when you first get this fragrance, you get the fig, you get the poppy, and you get the barley in this fragrance. But what really stands out and makes this fragrance really nice is that tonka bean, because the dry down, it gets nutty, it gets warm, it gets sweet, and it also gets very powdery. I love this fragrance. This is the one that has tonka bean that I just couldn't put my finger on. I'm like, why is this super addictive? And when I was looking at the notes, I was like, tonka bean. Duh. It is such a great fragrance. And if you're looking for a fragrance that has tonka bean and you're not sure if you'll like tonka bean or not, definitely start off with Jo Malone's Scarlet Poppy, because the tonka bean is not as crazy and abrasive in this fragrance. So you will definitely get a feel of it versus just buying a fragrance like Lavender Extreme that is extreme in the tonka. So if you want to get that tonka vibe, then definitely get Scarlet Poppy. This next fragrance got tonka bean, and I bet a lot of you guys didn't know that. And I'm sure that's the main reason why a lot of people like this fragrance. And it is Libre Intense. Every time I wear this fragrance, I always find myself wanting more. And I was trying to figure out what makes this fragrance good, because of course it has vanilla and it has the lavender. But tonka bean, y'all, the tonka bean in this fragrance make it very nice, because once you're looking at tonka bean, it's nutty and it gives off the same texture that vanilla bean gives. Like, if you see the texture of vanilla bean, like an actual vanilla bean, that's what tonka bean is. It is almost like an almond as well. So it's a cross between vanilla bean, almond. When you smell a fragrance, you get that vibe. And this one right here works really well because tonka bean, I like to think of it as a crossover between almond and vanilla. So this one right here works really well with that vanilla. This one is one that lasts so long on the skin and is beautiful. So if you like tonka bean, or if you're trying to get into that note, because a lot of people in their fragrance journey, they stop looking for sweet, sexy, they start focusing on specific notes. So if you're that girl that's trying to get into tonka fragrances, then definitely check this one out, because this is a really good entry level fragrance that has a tonka bean note. The next fragrance that has tonka bean that's not too prominent, but is still there and you will get it, is one from Commodity, and it is Commodity Milk. In this fragrance, I feel like the tonka bean is sweet and powdery, because when you first get this fragrance, you smell that marshmallow, you smell the sweetness, you smell the nuttiness, but you get that powderiness once it starts to dry down. And you guys, I have to say, that's the tonka bean. You want to smell like that, then definitely try this one out. The next fragrance that features the note of tonka bean is one that I've been loving, and it works really well because it has cherry in it, it has almond in it, and it's just a perfect mixture. So if you like those notes, then this one is one that you will definitely love, and it is Rouge Smoking by BDK. Now, if you want that cherry vibe, then definitely get this. It says smoky, but it's not smoky to me. Like Rouge Smoking, automatically think that it's a smoky fragrance. No, this is a fragrance that features the note of tonka bean that is powdery and it's nutty. Now, this one right here is one that I can really appreciate because it has cherry in it, and I thought that it was going to be extra powdery and dusty, but honestly it smells like a cherry coke. And then when it starts to dry down, it starts to give me that cherry pie vibe. It's so sexy and it's so alluring. This is one that I believe that everyone should have in their collection, especially if you like the note of cherry, tonka, vanilla, because it's a perfect blend between all three. So if you're looking for that vibe, then definitely get this, because this is for that girl that is confident, she knows what she likes, and she's bold. This is not one of the fragrances that a regular person would wear. Like, you have to be confident, you have to be bold, you have to know what you want. And this is one that I like to wear when I know what I want and when I want to get into business, straight up. This one is also from the same house, BDK, but this one, you guys, is heavy on the tonka bean. It is a tonka bean prominent fragrance, and it is Velvet Tonka. Now, this one is probably my favorite from the whole line that I have, which is 3 fragrances. I have Rouge Smoking, I have Velvet Tonka, and I have Ombre Safrano. So Ombre Safrano has its time and place, but baby, this is the star. This is almond. It kind of gives me a cherry vibe and tonka. You guys, this is so smooth. It's so powdery. It is so sexy. It's so feminine. Now, in this fragrance, I get the powdery notes. I get the nutty, which is giving me that almond vibe. And I also get the earthy notes, because like on the top, you get like a bright, powdery, citrusy type of almond vibe. Like, I can't explain it because there's so much going on. It's so complex, but then at the same time, it's blended to perfection. It's very smooth. Definitely check out Velvet Tonka. Next one is one from our favorite house, which is Francis Kurt de Jean. It is not my favorite, but it's everyone on YouTube's favorite, clearly, because of Baccarat Rouge 540. I do like it, but it's like not my top one. But this one right here is my top fragrance, though, from the whole line, and it is brand Soir. Now, if you have this fragrance in your collection, it's so good. Oh my God. No one can tell you nothing. This has the most prettiest amber and tonka vibe. The amber in this fragrance and the tonka just goes together and works. It's like an explosion. Like, it has that powdery note in there. This is one of those fragrances that gives off that nutty, powdery feel. This is so sexy. If you're looking for a beautiful amber, vanilla, tonka blend, then Grand Soir is it. This is the sexiest one in this whole list. I honestly have other sexy ones, but this is the sexiest, #1. So if you are looking for one fragrance from this list, stop right here and go ahead and get this one. The next one that has tonka bean in it is one that everyone and their mom loves, and I would have to agree, I love it too. It is a vanilla fragrance, but like I said, vanilla and tonka bean works well. But this one, it features brown sugar as well, and it is Vanilla 28 by Kayali. Ooh. Talk about a beautiful fragrance. This has the note of tonka, and I don't know if it's only me, but whenever I spray this, I cough, I sneeze, because first of all, it's a mist. I'm not gonna spray it because I probably will sneeze, but at the same time, it's powdery. It's extremely powdery. Some people won't notice that because it is sweet as well, but it's extremely powdery. Whenever I spray this on my skin, I get vanilla, and then I feel like I'm getting like cocoa powder. And I'm talking about like some real fine cocoa or cacao. And then you take a scoop of it, and then it's falling, and you smell the richness in the powder. That is exactly what I get from this. This is such a beautiful vanilla fragrance. It's so simple, but at the same time, to my nose is so complex and I just love it. If you're looking for a really good vanilla fragrance, then this one is it because it has the prettiest tonka note in it. And when I tell you tonka is addictive, this is the reason why. Next fragrance has one of the most authentic tonkas I can think of, and it is Escapade Gourmande by Maison Mataha. You guys, this is black sugar or sugar cane tonka vanilla, the fragrance that has the most authentic tonka bean. It is nutty, it is powdery, it has a little bit of earthiness in it. This is like, imagine picking up a piece of tonka bean and sniffing it, crushing it in your hands, getting the authentic smell. This right here, you can't tell me that they didn't use the finest of the finest notes to make this fragrance. Honestly, this is $200, but if they sold it for $300, I would have gotten it because it's just the ultimate gourmand fragrance. And I have to agree with the name because it's just gorgeous. Now, my husband wore it for the first time on Friday. When I tell you, his sillage was just so addictive and so captivating that I just had to say, Mark, please go shower before I devour you. Like, it's not gonna work. And of course, you know what he's gonna say. He ain't gonna say okay. He's gonna be like, ooh. So if you're trying to get those vibes, definitely get this. This has the prettiest tonka in it. And when I smelled this, the first thing I could think of was vanilla and tonka. If you're looking for a beautiful tonka fragrance, then that one is good. This next fragrance have an amazing tonka in it, and this one has honey and tobacco. And I feel like that's the perfect combination. And it is Naxos. If you're looking for a house that does a really good gourmand and that use amazing notes to make their gourmands, Gurrlll, straight up. It is worth every single penny, whether you buy it on discount or you buy it full price, to be honest with you guys, because Naxos is just gorgeous. Now, in this fragrance, the tonka bean is a little bit nutty and is giving off that almond extract vibe. Paired with the honey and the tobacco, it's gorgeous. Now, y'all know that tonka could also give off tobacco vibes too. So I think that it was a smart move to pair this with it. Tonka bean is a versatile fragrance note and it could be used different ways. And that's what I enjoy about these fragrances. And that's why I love the note of tonka. Comment down below what's your favorite fragrance with tonka bean in it. And that was it for the video. Thank you so much for joining me here yet again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All of these fragrances will be linked in the description box below. And if you would like to sample some of these niche fragrances, go ahead and use my discount code @TwistedLily so you can get an extra percentage off of your purchase or your sample order. Okay, until we see each other again, please, please, please stay safe and keep on smelling fragrances. Bye, cherry bombs.